Here's why most income plays are designed to drain you. There's this pattern that no one really talks about. The louder the income claim, the harder it is to sustain. And you're going to hear about six-figure course launches, 7-day e-commerce cash grabs, 100K ghostwriting retainers. Okay? But here's what's really not mentioned enough. The founder is burned out. The system doesn't scale. The math only works with a huge team or a massive audience. So this is the trap. It's not that those models are really fake. It's that they're bad fits for calm operators. People like us, quiet founders, builders who want time leverage, emotional stability, and peace of mind, not just profit or really loud birds. And that's what this video is all about, guys. Because the internet, it is flooded with income strategies that are designed for performers, growth addicts, sales chasers who confuse adrenaline with success. But what about builders? What about people who want a predictable 10 to 25K a month without pretending to be someone that they are not? This is what you need to know first and foremost. 1, the emotional cost of a model that's real or the financial upside. A business that gives you anxiety 6 days a week, it's not worth any kind of MRR. If it can't be sustained on your worst day, it is not freedom. It is a trap, but with better optics. Second, not all 10K a month businesses are equal. Some of them take 60 hours a week. Some of them take 6. Some rely on ads, big audiences, fragile hacks. But others are boring, stable, and quietly brilliant. You don't have to go viral. You need systems that create leverage, even when your energy is low. And that is what we're going to break down today. Okay? So, I'm going to show you 5 filters that I use to vet income ideas that I take seriously. So you don't have to waste time on models that don't really fit your nervous system. So let's get to it. Here are the 5 filters of calm income. Before we really get into the actual business models themselves, let's talk about something. A business model that's perfect on paper can still destroy you in practice. That is why every idea that you pursue, no matter how profitable, it's got to pass through these 5 filters. These filters don't just assess your ROI. They're going to assess energetic cost, personal fit, and stability. Because a 10K month might be easy. A 10K month that feels sustainable is rare. So here are the filters I use for every model that I consider or that I might build for clients. The first one, what is the energetic fit? You got to ask this question: does this model drain me or does it support me? If you are introverted, selling in the DMs, it might destroy you. If you hate admin running a service agency, it's going to grind you down, right? A model should match your strengths, not fight your defaults. Second, time leverage. Ask yourself, how scalable is this model per hour of input? The best calm income plays reward setup over hustle. So if it requires 30 hours a week every single week, it's a job with lipstick. You want leverage to build once and then earn repeatedly through product, system, or delegation. Third, buyer intent. Ask this question: does this model attract people already looking for help? Selling is much easier when you're not having to convince. You're just converting. So look for models that put you in front of warm buyers with a very clear problem. Fourth, the simplicity of the offer. Ask yourself this question: can I explain this to a smart person in 15 seconds? Complex offers equals complex marketing. Simple, sharp offers equal fast decisions, fast trust. You want low friction sales, not layered funnels that are going to require 3 webinars and a 14 email nurture sequence. That's a pain. 5, graceful plateau. Ask this question: if this business stays at 10K a month forever, Am I okay with that? Some models scale, but some shouldn't. So don't build something that forces you to grow just to survive. All right, now it's time to walk you through the first 3 business models that actually meet all of these criteria, including the one I use to build Brand Built, from $0 to $25K a month with no ads or cold outreach. All right, here's models 1 through 3, the foundational 3. These are the 3 business models that I would recommend first, especially for solo founders, operators in transition, or anyone who wants low overhead, high trust income. So each one, it requires 0 inventory. It can be built from scratch. It pairs perfectly with a small audience or even no audience. So let's break these down, okay? Here we go. Model number 1, premium subscription newsletter. What does that mean? A weekly or bi-weekly paid newsletter that solves one specific painful problem for a very defined audience. So think to yourself, how to land senior roles in biotech, playbooks for post-exit founders. Those are some good examples, right? Weekly signals for B2B sales leaders. Here's why that works. Low delivery overhead. It builds recurring revenue. High intimacy equals high retention. This is perfect for quiet experts who really want calm, consistent income, but with minimal tech. Model number 2, authority-driven audit plus a strategy offer. What does that mean? You audit a buyer's profile, offer, content, or funnel, and then you deliver a personalized strategic plan or a Loom walkthrough, a video, right? Think something like this: LinkedIn profile audits, cold email teardown plus a rebuild, website or funnel optimization. Here's why it works. Deep leverage per client. Positioning equals high perceived value. Easy entry point into a higher ticket consulting. So this model, it builds fast cash, but also long-term trust. Let's get into the 3rd model. Micro-productized services. Productized, however you pronounce it. A tiny slice of your skill set delivered in a very fixed, templatized format. So here's an example. I will build your calendar plus cold DM script in 72 hours. 2 posts plus 1 strategy call to fix your LinkedIn voice. 4 email reactivation sequences for dormant leads. See? Here's how this works, or why. Bounded scope equals no burnout. Fast sales cycle. Low emotional labor. This is ideal for experts who really want project-based wins, but without becoming full-time service providers. Now, let's get into the next section. I'm going to give you models 4 through 6, including one of the most underrated recurring revenue streams or plays that almost no one is talking about at the moment. So, here are models 4 through 6. These are underrated recurring machines. All right? If the last 3 models were about fast, traction and trust, these next 3, they are about scalable, calm, quiet recurring income, high margin, low pressure. Let's dig into it. Model number 4, private community with strategic IP. So that's a paid membership community built around transformation, not just vibes. Think 1 to 2 calls per month, chat support, and really a clear outcome. But the key to these communities is that they should center around 1 to 2 frameworks or playbooks people pay to master. Here's an example, right? Founder brand growth, quiet B2B client acquisition, operations for creative businesses. So here's why that works. It's predictable revenue. It's high perceived value from shared wins. It scales without requiring daily engagement. This is what I've built inside Brand Built, and it continues to scale past $25K a month with minimal stress. Okay, here's the 5th model, white label tech plus advisory. So what is that? Bundle a simple SaaS or automation tool like a CRM or analytics dashboard with your expertise. Okay, you license or you resell the software, often white labeled, and you become the go-to person for setup, for training, or for strategy. So here's an example. GHL plus nurture plus brand coaching. Analytics dashboards for early stage SaaS founders, right? AI powered writing tools with guidance. Here's why something like that works. Software revenue equals sticky. Your advisory layer equals margin. It creates this I trust you, you handle this dynamic. This is one of the quietest 5 to 10K a month plays that compounds pretty fast with 5 to 10 clients. All right, here's model 6, signal curation plus deal flow. What does that mean? You build a niche research or insight product, not to go mass, but to reach people with capital. So think about this. It's like a curated private equity deal. Create sponsorship leads, LP opportunities, talent lists, or even newsletter acquisition targets. Here's why it works. It's hyper-specific, so that equals high pricing. Trust equals monetizable access. Quiet authority equals unexpected influence. So even with 100 subscribers, a very well-positioned insight product can unlock 5-figure MRR. Now, let's get into model 7 through 10. This is where things get a little bit weirder, but more leveraged. And for the right founder, a little bit more fun. Okay? Here's model 7 through 10. Asymmetric plays, but with calm potential. These next 4 models, they break the mold. They are not for everyone, but they are for the right kind of quiet founder. They unlock leverage, status, and peace in unexpected ways. These are asymmetric because they don't rely on audience scale. They've got high payoffs with low ongoing effort, and they often fly under the radar. Let's go. Model number 7, educational licensing. What is that? You create a course, training series, or a playbook, not to sell direct to consumer, but to license to organizations, communities, or partners. Here's some examples, right? Personal brand for founders, licensed out to accelerators. Fractional ops SOPs, licensed out to agencies. LinkedIn mastery, sold to internal teams. Here's why it works. 1 sale equals 10x revenue. No audience required. This is perfect for domain experts who really hate endless launches. So if you've ever built a process or a system that people ask you to teach, this is a hidden gold mine. All right, let's get into model 8, micro newsletter or arbitrage. What does that mean? Buy or build a small newsletter. Optimize open click rates and start monetizing via sponsorships. You could do product placement, all right, a community or SaaS funnels. Think like this, $500 a month, neglected newsletter, $3K a month in asset in 90 days. Here's why it works. You're buying attention. You're not building from scratch. It's quiet. It compounds traffic. It's a fast path to 5 to 10K months with only 2 to 3 assets. You don't need Substack fame. You need performance. And that's what buyers are paying for. Model 9, niche job boards plus talent pools. So what does that mean? It means that you aggregate high quality talent in a specific domain and then you monetize via access fees, placement retainers, premium visibility. Here's some examples. All right, fractional go-to-market hires for seed startups, right? Creator editors for UGC brands, ghosts for hire board for B2B founders. Here's why it works. Trust equals defensibility. Buyers come to you. It scales quietly via referrals and via word of mouth. And here's model 10, Insight Media plus Advisory Bundle. What is that? You build a tight loop of weekly perspectives, right? Podcast, newsletter, YouTube. You've got back-end advisory services done for you with async coaching, private consultations. You become the trusted lens, and you get paid as the brain behind the brand. Here's why it works. Authority compounds. Offers evolve with your energy. Buyers are going to feel safe for buying you, not just a product. All right? So here's how to pick your model and get to that 10K as fast as you can. You've seen 10 viable models here. But the question now is really this. Which one is yours? Because the wrong model, even if it's proven, it's probably going to wreck your momentum. But the right one, it's going to feel almost unfair in how fast that it compounds. So here's exactly how to choose your $10,000 a month path and actually hit it in under 12 months. Okay, step number 1, choose by energy but not by hype. You got to start with the model that you would secretly keep doing even if it only made $3,000 a month. That's the one that you're going to show up for consistently, that you're going to sell with conviction, okay? That you're going to improve but without pressure. This is your foundational layer. This is the calm income base that you can always count on. Step number 2, stack where you already have trust. You don't need a massive audience, but you do need a very clear trust channel. So ask yourself, do people already ask me about this topic? Do I have past clients, colleagues, or even friends who would buy? Is my content or profile already positioned here? If the answer is yes, you can shortcut to results by launching a very lean 10 DMs, 1 Loom, $1,000 offer, with a defined win. You're not really building a funnel here. You're collecting a signal. Step number 3, use short horizon, long game strategy. Get to $2,000 a month first, then $5,000, then $10,000. Your first income milestone, it should really come from a single offer, a single channel, a single customer outcome. No complexity, no brand build, just signal, delivery, and leverage. After that, then you can layer in a subscription, a product, or maybe even an advisory bundle. All right? So let's exactly walk through the 3 launch paths that I would use today to hit that 10K a month from zero, depending on your strengths, depending on your audience, and your time availability. All right? So here are 3 launch paths to 10K a month from scratch. Let's stop pretending that there's one way to build a calm 10K month. There isn't. The truth is your path depends on 2 different things: what leverage you already have and what energy you can sustainably apply. So below, and right now, these are 3 starter paths that I would recommend based on where you are starting. Here's path number 1. I've got skills, but no audience. So start here, okay? Here's the model: authority-driven audits, micro-productized services. Your playbook is to define one niche problem that you can solve better than 99% of people out there. Offer a no-brainer audit or a teardown with a premium vibe. Deliver 1 to 2 per week via warm outreach intros or Upwork-style platforms. Layer a light content cadence. Example, weekly LinkedIn post or a Loom breakdown. Your goal is to hit 2 to 5K months pretty fast with 3 to 5 clients. Turn top results into testimonials and referrals. All right, here's path number 2. I have an audience, but no offer. So start here. 1, premium newsletter, okay? Signal plus deal flow. Your playbook is this: pick one niche theme that you could write about weekly for a year. Launch a free version to collect opt-ins and feedback. So convert the best insights into a $10 to $50 a month membership. Promote via soft CTAs and exclusive content teases. Your goal is to hit 100 to 200 paid subscribers. You can sell back-end services or community access later on. All right, here's path number 3. I have both an audience plus skills, but no time. Start here. A white label tech plus advisory model, right? Insight media plus advisory bundle. Here's your playbook. You want to partner with a white label software that you love. Bundle setup, customization, or insights into a very high trust monthly offer. So you're going to promote that through your personal brand channels and also referrals. Stay async or offer light support. Okay, example, 1 call a month. Goal: hit 10K a month with 5 to 10 clients. Bonus: license your templates, processes later on. All right. here are some quiet systems that scale without you. Making $10,000 a month is one thing, but keeping it and growing beyond it without losing your mind, that is another. So that's where quiet systems come in. These aren't necessarily complex automations or flashy funnels. They are very simple structures that protect your time, that preserve your energy, and they multiply your best work. So let's walk through 3 essential systems that you are going to need. System number 1, the 1-hour ops stack. You really need an operating rhythm that lets you maintain and grow in 1 focused hour per day. So here's a simple version. Monday, create 1 long form asset or 3 micro pieces. Tuesday, nurture, reply, DM, engage 10 to 20 key people. Wednesday, deliver, client work, back-end systems. Thursday, sell, send the Loom videos, publish a CTA, follow up. Friday, reflect, audit metrics, document wins, optimize. This is going to keep your content, your clients, and pipeline alive, but without spinning out. All right, system number 2, trust assets over hype. So instead of chasing attention every single day, build trust assets that compound. Trust assets include long-form videos, YouTube, Loom, right? Evergreen articles or newsletters, customer results plus testimonials, battle-tested processes and tools. These are going to give people a reason to believe before they ever even speak to you. Quiet growth equals stacking trust, not necessarily chasing likes. Okay? System number 3, the replacement file. This is where you start documenting yourself out of the business. Each week, spend 15 minutes answering, what am I repeating? What drained me? And what could someone else own? Then, record a Loom video, write an SOP, train a VA, contract, or an AI assistant. The goal here isn't to build a team, it's to build insulation. So when life hits, or you want to take a month off, the system is going to hold. Right? These systems, they're boring, but that's why they work. All right? So now, it's time to give you a peek inside exactly how I run Brand Built and what I would do differently if I were starting it all over again. All right? So, here's a little inside look at Brand Built. This is my real 25K a month flywheel, and it's growing. So let's cut through the noise, all right? This is exactly how I built Brand Built, a very quiet, sustainable business that reliably earns plenty of money, and it's still growing. There's no viral videos here. There's no performance theater. There is no sprint to burnout cycles. Just a very tight, trusted flywheel. So here's what that looks like. All right, the core offering, right? At the center of all of this is a $249 a month community. It's a membership for founders and operators and creators. It includes weekly calls, monthly trainings, async support, step-by-step playbooks, right? We layered on $250 a month CRM software. We layered on higher ticket month-to-month done-for-you services for one-to-one clients. This lets us serve both early and advanced members without launching 1,000 different products. Very simple, all right? The acquisition engine. Our engine is simple and it's human, all right? We've got daily LinkedIn content, authority anchors, beliefs, really bold hits, outbound DMs, they're non-spammy, they're value first. We got a weekly newsletter, all right? Monthly webinars. That's really it. There's no crazy team of SDRs. There's no paid ads machine yet. It's just consistency and a deep understanding of who we help. All right? So, what's our conversion strategy? Well, we don't really do sales calls for the membership. What we do is we let the content, the profile, the systems, the webinars, they do all the lifting. So for the high ticket offers, we really qualify through DMs, through Loom audits, through quiet authority signals. A lot of the people convert after watching quietly for a number of weeks. So we keep publishing because lurkers become buyers. All right? Now, what's our delivery system? I spend about 5 to 6 hours a week really inside the business. 2 to 3 hours on member calls, a couple hours recording content or training, about an hour responding to members. All right, the rest of it really runs on trust assets, it runs on automation, it runs on lightweight systems. All right, so what's our flywheel? Here's how it compounds. This is how this thing grows. Great content, all right, inbound interest, low friction CTAs, membership conversions, deep results, testimonials plus referrals, all right, better content, repeat. It's calm, it's compounding, and it works, even on the weeks that I barely show up. All right, so here's your $10,000 a month roadmap. 30 days to signal. It's the most important section in this entire playbook if you're still here. All right, because information is cheap, but execution is rare, and signal is what turns dreams into revenue. So let's talk about a simple 30-day roadmap to get your first paying customer, subscriber, or client, even if you're starting from scratch. Let's break this thing down week by week. First week, week 1, choose your model, plus commit to a channel. Pick one of the 10 models that we talked about. Decide on your primary channel, let's say LinkedIn, email, DMs, etc. Define your niche and core outcome. Create your offer landing page or service document, Loom plus Notion file, right? Write down your 10K number, clients, subscriptions, price points. By the end of week 1, you should have a clear offer and a place to talk about it. Week number 2, now you start sharing, plus a little bit of outreach. Post 2 to 3 times on your channel, authority plus belief. DM or email 10 to 20 warm contacts. Share your Loom or your offer document. Ask for feedback, interest, intros, not just sales. Say yes to 1 to 2 low stakes calls if they are warm. So by the end of week 2, you've had at least 3 real conversations about the offer. Let's talk about week number 3. You want to make your first sale, or try to, or test price. Refine based on feedback. Post 2 to 3 more times. Create urgency with a pilot offer. First 3 people get X discount, beta, etc., etc. You should ask, would you be interested in this if it launched next week? So by the end of week 3, you've made your first sale. You've secured a beta, or you tested a price. And now, week 4, deliver, document, and refine. Deliver the work or the offer. Track what worked, what didn't work. Document the process. Ask for feedback, testimonials, referrals. Write your next 30-day sprint plan. So by the end of week 4, now you have a real customer, a case study, and a repeatable process. All right? So, when do you scale versus when you stop? This is something that no one really tells you. A lot of people try to scale way too early, and others keep grinding a dead offer for way too long. Both of them are going to lead to burnout. Neither builds a calm, durable 10K month business. All right? So let's fix that. All right? This is how to know exactly when to scale and when you should stop. So, when should you scale? Only scale if you validated these 3 signals. 1, consistent conversions. You've made 3 to 5 sales with ease. You're not really convincing people at this point. They're leaning in. 2, clear demand. People are asking follow-up questions. All right? They are sharing your work, or they're referring others without even being asked. 3, low drag delivery. You can deliver the offer without stress, or you've built a system that insulates your time. If all 3 are true, it's likely time to raise your prices. Add a back-end offer. Maybe layer in some light systems or a team to help you. You are not reinventing in this case. You are reinforcing. All right? Now, when do you stop? Don't keep pushing an offer just because you should. Here are some red flags that are going to say it's really time to pause or to pivot. First, you're exhausted after every delivery. The work might pay well, but it's draining your battery. It's not scalable. 2, you are constantly chasing. If you are posting DMs, cold pitching, and nothing is sticking, you are not in a fit. 3, you secretly hate the clients, you dread the calls, you avoid the email, you fantasize about quitting. That is your nervous system telling you the truth. Stopping doesn't mean failure. What it means is you are clearing space to build something that you can keep. All right? Here's the 80-20 check-in. Ask yourself every 30 days or so, what is giving me the most energy and the most income? What is draining me or creating friction? What would I double down on if I had to make $10,000 in the next 30 days? The answers are going to keep you aligned with the path of the quiet profit and the personal integrity. Okay? Now, this is the real reward. Here's why this path pays you twice. The 10K a month number, that's not the goal. It's the unlock. It's enough to walk away from the things that you hate. It's enough to buy back your time. It's enough to take care of your family, sleep at night, right? But here's what's more powerful than that. This path, it doesn't just pay you in money. It's going to pay you in alignment. So let me explain what that means. All right? Income buys you freedom. So when you hit 10K a month from a very quiet business, you stop really needing clients. Okay? Especially the kinds you don't like. You stop checking your bank account every single day. You stop saying yes to things that really feel like a slow death. It's the tipping point, okay? Where you finally stop negotiating with yourself. No boss, no algorithm, there's no pressure to perform, just margin, all right? So, systems buy you sanity. Once the revenue is in place, and once you've installed the right systems, you take real weekends. You stop bringing your laptop on vacations. You trust that things will still move, even when you rest and aren't there. Your nervous system is finally going to exhale. It's not sexy, but it's what lets you enjoy your life again. All right? Integrity buys you peace. Here's what nobody tells you about this particular game. Building quietly for people that you respect on terms that you choose, that is one of the most dignified ways to make money. You are not faking. You are not pretending. You are not tolerating garbage to hit a revenue target. You are aligned. And that alignment, it shows up in how you walk, how you speak, and how others are treating you. That's the second paycheck. And it is the one that you are going to feel the deepest. Right? You are not here to play the loud game. You are here to build something real, something that doesn't just scale. It frees you. And if you want that kind of freedom in your life, I would suggest that A, you subscribe to my newsletter at natberman.com, or B, you can always join BrandBuilt, my community, joinbrandbuilt.com, and C, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I don't know what's wrong with you. See you in the next video.